Hey everybody, this is Matt, and I want to give you some tips and tricks for ending your school year with Google Classroom. Now, first of all, you want to make sure that you don't delete your Google Drive folder. If you delete your Google Drive folder, that removes everything from everybody and it creates quite a mess. So what I would recommend doing instead is grading and returning student work. Remember, if students don't have returned their work to you or turned it in, they have view-only rights. So when you return it, it gives them edit rights again. Exemplar work. Every year you have great examples of student work, and they are awesome to share with future classes that you may have. So what I would recommend doing is making a copy of this exemplar work, getting the student's permission, of course, and then using that to showcase for next year. So the other thing that you can do too is remove your students. Students who are no longer in your classes, you can go through and you can remove them. Or you could have students unenroll from your class, or you could archive your class. So if you want to unenroll as a student, students can simply go right to your Google Classroom, click the three dots, and choose unenroll. If you want to archive the class as a teacher, you can sort of do the same thing. Go to the Google Classroom app or also the website, and then click on the three little dots and choose archive. All right, so what if you want to restore your class after it being archived? That could be a little problematic, right? So what you can do is go to the three little lines over on the left-hand side of your screen, and you can choose archived classes. So it gives you sort of a menu of the different classes you have. Now what you can do is access the class that you archived and just click on the three little dots right there, and you can just say restore. All right, calendars. A lot of times when you make class calendar or Google Classroom classes, there's calendars all over the place. You can delete your old calendars by simply going to the Google Calendar application and following those steps that you see on the screen. All right, so creating a template for next year is extremely helpful. What you can do is you can create a new Google Classroom class and create your titles, maybe add some assignments, maybe add some other things, and just use that as a template from year to year. Remember, you can go to the three little dots on the Google Classroom class on your dashboard and choose Make a Copy. You could even recycle old assignments. So if you want to reuse a post, you could most certainly do that. You could go to any class that you've ever created, even if it's archived, and you can reuse old assignments, which is awesome. You can also reuse old copies of the attachments. You can actually create brand new copies of those attachments if you want. The other thing that you might want to consider is reflecting. What worked, what didn't work, what was the best way to organize my materials? Assignments, what was the best structure for that? What scaffolds and supports could you have in place for students? Like maybe you could add video clips or even emojis to help students understand instructions on assignments. The grade book, how might you set that up? And maybe you want to use the rubric tool on Google Classroom to create better rubrics. So here's some ideas for next year as you get started. Creating a folder or creating a link or even an attachment to exemplar works are really great. Perhaps numbering your assignments, so starting with 3 digits. So assignment number 1 would be 001, assignment number 2, 002. This just helps organize things a little bit better in the Google Drive folder and also makes it easier for students to understand. Create or upload your own rubrics. Definitely explore that feature on Google Classroom. Use emojis and the formatting features now on rich text format through Google Classroom in order to make things appear and emphasize certain things appear better. Add mini tutorials with screencasts. Create a screencast for your students to understand maybe a homework assignment, how to turn in an assignment, or even expectations for what you want them to do. Get together a first day of school activity now so that you're ready for the first day of school, and that's one less thing off your list. And then add a place where students can ask questions, a dedicated question that students can ask questions. They can have students in the class answer those questions, or even yourself. So those are all sorts of things that are extremely helpful. Hopefully that is helpful for you. If you want to copy the presentation, just check out the bit.ly link here and you can have access to it.